What's up, folks? Welcome back to M&J Games. This is Jasmine, and today I wanted to share my second episode of the Planet Coaster Hard Challenge. So I kind of skipped ahead a little bit because I don't want to bore you with too many details. So on this video, I am highlighting some of the major things that I've done in my park so far. So right now I am showing you the third ride in my park, which is like this little Ferris wheel type thing. And I also took some time redoing the entrance to my park. Well, I take that back. Not necessarily the entrance, but I made the paths wider to make more of a plaza looking area. So you'll see that in a second. So for the most part, at this point, I'm just trying to fix some of the little details in the park, and because there are a lot of people in the park and not a whole lot of actual space for them to walk around, so you can see like people were kind of getting stuck at the beginning. And this video also has been sped up, I think 2 times faster, like the last episode. So I'm just placing some very basic trees around this little ride. Oh, I forget what it's called. Just to add some more scenery to it and make it more attractive for my guests. And I really love these big oak trees. I think they're so pretty. They just cost a lot. So, so I'm kind of using some smaller trees, and I kind of made like a little bit of a, I don't know, sort of corridor with the trees around my queue line. So let's see what else is going on here. So I'm like trying to figure out or look at what the research is doing and trying to figure out what I want to research, because I have very limited funds. So I was trying to research like the very cheapest things that I could. So I'm just adding some small lights to my path. So one thing that I have noticed with this challenge is that you start out with a limited amount of objects and everything else you have to research. And there are some lamps that I really like to add on top of my little fences, or what would you call those? Like handrails. And they aren't there. So I am using these little ones, and I'm not like a huge fan of these, but I guess they'll do for now because they're matching. So anyway, I wasn't super happy about doing that, but it seemed like the most economical thing to do to add some lights without trying to work with placing them directly on the ground, since my pathway was elevated. So not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so at this point, I got a little bit confused. So let me back up a second. So I haven't done my path yet, but at this point, I am trying to figure out how I want to do it, because I know that I want to make some paths that are wider and to accommodate more people. And I also was, because on the left, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it mentions having a monthly profit of $500 for a roller coaster. Obviously, I don't have funds for a roller coaster yet, so I was just checking to see like how much I would need, and just checking on my little other rides that I have going on, just seeing how they're doing as far as profit. And then a little bit here, we're going to get started on the plaza area. So I was just kind of checking with the staff, trying to make sure they're okay and they're not too miserable working in this very new park with limited funds. And I do really like the little claw machine thingamajig. I think that's so cute, and it does bring in a little bit of profit. If you have used that machine, I'd be interested in knowing what you set the winning percentage on, because I keep it at 50-50. But I have learned that sometimes people get frustrated if they don't win. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what else I want to research. I think I selected insanity on that. Yeah, so another thing, at this point, I did not realize that I could actually take out a loan, which I will do eventually, because there is just, I don't know how you can do this challenge without taking out a loan. Like it's just I don't know how you do it. If you have done it, please let me know how you did it. But that did not happen with me. I took out a loan so I could build a roller coaster, and you will see that eventually. I also am trying to figure out what building style I want my buildings to be. This sort of little style that I have now is just not great. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Please comment. Yeah, so I was just like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I'm like clicking through like the pre-built buildings, trying to see like if there was anything that I wanted to sort of take inspiration from, but I really didn't find anything. Okay, folks, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit and cut to the good stuff. So bear with me. I'm going to go to the part where I was working on my plaza section, and I have a little bit more of an idea of how I want my buildings to look like. Okay, so this is what I came up with so far. It's kind of like, I really love pastel colors. I don't know if it's like a girl thing or what, but I really like pastel colors versus like the very bright colors. So, this little building here, um, I ended up deleting those other food buildings that I had in the first part of this video, and I'm going to place them in this building. And in the first video, I was having trouble connecting them to create one building. So this is my solution, and I paused the game so that I could do this. So my customers were not going to miss having food around. So, so I was kind of figuring out what building style I wanted to do. I think, let's see, what is this? I think it's the Romanesque building. Okay, yeah. Um, so I'm using those, and um, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a city style with the brick. I don't know. I'm still not quite sure how I want the feel of the park to be. But this does seem very like metropolitan to me. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes along and how it progresses. But if you have any ideas on building styles or architecture or what, just let me know. A lot of my buildings are very basic because I am just not the greatest at building stuff. So a lot of my buildings are square looking, and I also, as I was doing this, I realized that I had to kind of come up with or find some other bricks that somewhat matched my this Romanesque, because I couldn't find anything that didn't have that bottom strip on it. So I think I ended up using like the city brick or something, or maybe it was like the firehouse brick. I don't know. But anyway, it's almost indistinguishable from the other, from that Romanesque. So it was fine. And then I was considering having columns. I still don't know if I want to if I want to have columns or what I want to do with this building, but you get the gist. So you can see how I kind of made a little plaza area, and eventually I'm in that little strip in the middle. I'm going to add some flowers or something. I'm still not quite happy with this, but it's fine for now, and I'll come back to it later on, hopefully when I have some more money. But I was surprised while I was doing this, and you can see I moved the little claw machine over, so it's in like a different section. Um, let's see, what else? Yeah, so I think this was the at the time where I finally figured out that I could take out a loan. So I will do that. I don't know if it's going to show that or not, but I do take out a loan, and I use that to build my first coaster, which will be coming up soon. But this challenge has actually been pretty fun so far. Like, I really like working with budgets and trying to figure out how to manage it, and so it's actually been pretty fun. This is fun. This is more fun to me than doing the sandbox, because the sandbox is just like, it's almost like I put too much pressure on myself to make it perfect. And this way, I'm still kind of doing my own thing, but at the same time, I'm working on like a challenge. It's a challenge, it's a budget. So, okay, so it looks like I've started building my roller coaster. This actually took an hour or so, and I'm going to cut eventually and get to the good part so you can see it. But I'm doing the interdimensional spinning coaster because it was one of the cheapest options. And so it's kind of a kiddie coaster, which is totally fine because it's kind of near the entrance. I like to put like the little kiddie things up near the front anyway. So I think that'll be fine. So in the next segment here, in a few, we're going to get to um, the roller coaster where it's more built out. So stay tuned. All right, so my coaster has been mostly built out. I'm just trying to smooth it and make it as smooth as possible. And doing a little bit of testing and everything, all that good stuff. And it's pretty good numbers. Everything's green. Excitement is 7.16. So that's pretty good. So then I start building on the station. So I did actually look up one of these spinning coasters in real life on YouTube just to see like what does it do, like how does a real one compare, and I found a cool one called Tornado, and I don't know where it was, like what park it was at, but it looked pretty cool. It had like some different buildings that it was going in and out of. It seemed really cool. Um, and so that was, I mean, that's probably not going to happen in my park, but it might be cool to kind of use that as inspiration. I'm building the queue now, but I am going to make the station look like a firehouse sort of deal, and have something. I want to have it have like fire or smoke or something, to make it a little bit more exciting. So that's the plan. So I'm building on the queue here, and I'm not crazy about it, but it worked. I mean, it was fine. And eventually I am gonna have to make that little path bigger. I just was too lazy and I didn't want to mess with it. So there's that. All right, so fast forward a little bit here, so you can see what I did with my station. I basically used the basic firehouse wall pieces and used those. They have some different titles. Like one is called like the base. There's a middle section, then there's a top section, and then like there's like a roof section. And I did them just like that. So, not a lot of creativity going on right there. But eventually, I'd like to make that a little more firehouse looking. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a pretty good start. I got a little bit of money, and I think I placed one more ride. Yeah, so I placed that, and that was about it. So it looks like I have a lot of red going on in this park, and my building is pastel green. So maybe I need to make my building red, my entrance building, or maybe I'll make it like a pastel, like coral color or something, so everything is kind of matching in this part of the park. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Feel free to comment. Appreciate you for watching. Until then, see you next time.